Hi everybody, this is Rick again with I think it's our 8th sketch we're going to do today. This one is of Anna, and it's this is going to be quite an exciting one because we're going to try and add a body today, just to show you that that can really improve your caricatures. Okay, so as usual we'll just jump in. Here we go. So I heard that Anna is very fond of reading. She likes books. So we're going to try and incorporate that into the body caricature later on. Okay, firstly we'll go through the usual steps of the shape of the face and the eye line, and then putting the eyes on. Now, it must be said there's a million different ways of doing caricatures. Everyone has their own technique and their own preferred method. So this is just one of many. So I'm no expert at all. Some people prefer to use marker pens, and some people like colour, and they like they might start with the outside of the face and work in. I work from the inside out. There's all different ways, whatever suits you best. So this is the way that I love to draw. Okay, so that's her eyes done, and while we're here we'll get the eyebrows as well. One thing I do like to do, which is a bit of a cheat really, but this distance here from the eyelid to the eyebrow, that the wider and higher that is, and the more open, the more friendly a face tends to look. So if that helps sometimes to make someone look a little friendlier than they would normally be, then I think you're allowed to do that. And conversely, if you compress this space, if you draw the eyebrows down, people will tend to look a little bit more serious or even angry if you want. But it's unlikely you're going to find someone like that at a wedding reception, I suppose, unless they really don't like the bride and groom. Okay, so again, Anna's got a lovely big smile. We're going to make sure we catch that. And if you notice, I've tilted it slightly and moved it away from the center line, which is perfectly okay. You're allowed to do that. It gives the face a nice little twist as well. Okay, I'm going to put a very subtle separation here with the upper and lower teeth. I'm not filling it in all the way, and I'm certainly not putting teeth in. Believe me, if you do that, unless you're very, very skilled, they're just going to end up looking like gravestones. So I would avoid doing that. It's not necessary. Okay, now we're going to put the chin down here, nice and small, and we'll fill out the shape of her face nicely as well. Now if you notice, I've left a lot of space down here because I know this is where the body's going to be. So again, that's kind of how I tend to operate, is if you can anticipate what's coming in the drawing, leaving space for it to happen is quite an important method. I always compare it to if you're having furniture delivered. Let's say you've ordered a brand new sofa from DFS because they always have a sale on, as usual. If you thought that sofa was coming in the afternoon, you'd probably clear out all the things from that spot. You know, you'd leave a space in the corner of the room. So that's how I like to think of it. And while we're here, don't forget, there's one-on-one classes available. Go to Google Hangouts and just put in my email address, which is rick@rickmachinstudios.com, and we can take it from there and set up a session for you or your kids or your mum and dad or whatever. Okay, so this is looking nice, and it's only about 6 minutes we're in, so that's good. Now the body here, I'm going to do quite a small body, which is a very it's a very classic way of doing caricatures. It's not the most imaginative, really. They call it big head, little body for a reason, but her body is going to take up about as much space as her head. Okay? So instead of her body normally being way down here, we're just going to compress it to this point. So I think I'm going to finish the body at this level. So we're going to put firstly her upper body like this, and then her hips are going to go there. And what I want is for her to be sitting on a pile of books. So I'm just going to put an impression of where that pile of books is going to be. So I think I'd like it here. Here. So we've got her upper body, her hips, and then the books. So you don't need to worry about her legs because they'll be turned away. So this is basically where her bum is going to be sat on there. Okay, now I want one leg going that way and the other leg coming this way. So that's good. We're just doing them as sticks for the time being. No detail at all. And her arm, we're going to put resting on the books. There's one arm there. And the other arm is going to be holding a book. So we're going to put that in there like this. I hope you can see all this. It's quite faint, but I will strengthen it in a moment. We need to put the fingers here holding the book. That's good. Okay, this hair is also going to come around. Because it's very, very long hair, so we don't want to shorten the hair for the sake of the cartoon. That wouldn't really be fair, would it? It's taken all that time to grow, so let's make the most of it. That's it. So I hope you can still see this okay. Now, when I drew the books originally, I just drew them as a block because that's where I want the books to be. So what we're going to do now is put some individual books in there, all at slightly different angles, which will help to break it up a little bit. There we go. So we can have some pages on that side and some pages over there, and then shading on this side. That's good. Now, another thing that's very useful is to put a shadow. It's what we call a puddle shadow, and it is, as it sounds, it's almost as if you've spilt a bottle of ink or something and it's left a puddle on the floor. But what it does is it grounds the cartoon. It forces you to see this as the surface. And without that, your character is going to look like it's just floating around in space, which is not really what you want. I'm going to put a bit of a shadow on that back leg, just to show that it's over there in the background. Incidentally, if you're watching these back and you're finding they're taking too long, or they're just getting a bit boring, you can play it at double speed on YouTube. There's some settings at the bottom, and it works just as well as an instruction video, even at double speed. But it means you won't have to listen to me. You can put some music on or anything really, just to stop the incessant mumbling. And don't forget, if you do like this, please like it or subscribe if you're able. I'm still not quite sure how this all works, but I gather subscriptions are something to be treasured. So I'd love it if you could. And if you want me to do a drawing of you, then you can look as lovely as Anna sitting on her books. Okay, bit of shading on the hair, not too much, because she is blonde, but she's got some dark shady areas around here, so and especially around the face where it's all disappearing into the background. Also, while I remember, we're going to be doing some colour soon. So I'm going to show you how to take these drawings and scan them in and colour them with Photoshop, which is good program, or GIMP, which is also a very good program if you're on a low budget, and there's some free software you can use. So that'll be coming soon. And then I think tomorrow we're going to be drawing Faith. So that's something we can all look forward to. It should be a good one. All right then, but I think that's pretty good for now. So that's Anna done. So I'm just going to move her over to about here. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. Great. So I hope that works for you. Maybe that's better. There we go. Great. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye for now.